Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Samira Tilley, Marketing Manager at Assemble Systems. We are so excited to share some great news with you today. I know many of you are regular attendees of Assemble webinars, but today we are going to do things slightly different. We are going live to our team in Denver, Colorado at the Advancing Field Technology Conference, a conference that focuses on leveraging technology to improve productivity in the field. Since we are going live to the show floor, I apologize in advance for any background noise or latency. Now let's get started. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Tim Kelly, Product Manager at Assemble. Go ahead, Tim.
Thank you, Samira. So I do apologize. I really wanted to get into a live demo, but we are having a bit of issue with the firewall at the hotel Wi-Fi. So we're going to share some screenshots and jump right into discussion. So with that said, at Assemble, we're really excited to announce the release of our iPad app. Ultimately, with our iPad app, what that means is you can connect to your site and get access to all your projects and all your views that you already created. So from day one, as soon as you download, you can hit the ground running and using your views in the field. As you jump into your different views, you have access to all the geometry and all of your grid or inventory as you're familiar with in our web application. So with that said, you have really quick navigation controls where you can select and jump from an instance up to the grouping or from the grouping down to the individual instances. You have the capability of taking screenshots and directly pushing that over to your email or potentially to ProCore. We're showing that off in just a minute as well. You also have the ability to isolate or section cut and drill into the information. And if you jump to the next slide, Samira, this is what I'm most excited about. You actually have access to edit and change properties from the field. So that means collecting field data direct instead of keying it in once you get back to the office. So the guys that are out in the field collecting information about installation dates, status of things, or tracking issues, you can do that directly from the field. Notice too, really quick on this screenshot, we actually have this section cut down to a particular area. So we selected those objects, hit cut a section or isolate, and it drills in right away directly to that specific group of components that you're looking at. So we've been showing this off this morning to the attendees at the conference, and I have two of our customers today that have actually, Raul Gomez with Robbins & Morton is sitting right here playing with the app right now. And next to Raul is Curtis Brundage from Core Construction. And I'm going to let those guys actually talk a little bit about what they're excited about and what's going on in the app. And Raul is actually looking at the picture you guys are seeing and laughing because of his reaction on his face there. So here's Raul.
Thanks, Tim, and appreciate everybody on the call. Yeah, this is just to share my thoughts here real quick with what's going on. This is something that I've always wanted Assemble to hopefully get to. For the 3 years we've been using Assemble, and they're finally here. So in my mind, this is a big game changer for us as a company. At Robbins & Morton, really taking what we use now as a tool within our pre-construction team to now taking this into the field. So I think our field is where it's really all happening. I think we all know that. And we are now going to really push this out further to the field and get our field personnel to use this, not only navigating the model, but to understand what's in the model. So it's great that they have that tool now at their disposal, and we're looking forward to really expanding the use of Assemble within our field side. So, Tim, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
That's exciting stuff. And then I'll say what Curtis is going to speak here for a second, but kind of my point of view, working with Curtis in the past, he was pushing some interesting stuff on one of their projects where we were tracking installation dates in the field, but his superintendents had to highlight things on the plans, send him photos of what was installed, and then back in the office he was plugging those dates in to track production information and that sort of thing. So I think this for his group is particularly exciting because that eliminates all of that manual process. So Curtis, you want to say something?
Hi, this is Curtis. Yeah, so like Tim said, I came to him a couple of years ago to start tracking production on our projects. And one of the things that we wanted to do is structural steel. And in order to get that information from the field to me, we had to have our superintendent go out and take pictures and mark up on 2D plans and relay that information back to me so I could input that data into Assemble to track the production of the steel erection. And so with this new iPad app, we have the ability to eliminate that middle process and go directly to the source. So I can have my superintendent use his iPad, highlight those areas that were, or those pieces that were installed, and have that instantaneous information to feed to the project team. And we can kind of go from there. So I think, like Raul said, this is a game changer, and I'm glad that Assemble is going in this direction, and I'm ready for the next steps.
Thank you, Curtis. So one more announcement we'd like to make, and I actually, looking at the agenda of this conference that we're at, the keynote tagline is putting data in the hands of field workers. And both Curtis and Raul just told you about basically doing that with this and giving them the ability to take model data, quantities, other properties, visuals, all sorts of things, right out to the field and to the hands of the guys that are out there. One of our partners, who you guys are actually sitting here right now, ProCore, they actually do a great job of this as well. And so all of your other project information is already out on the iPad and being provided to the field as well. So we're also excited that ProCore jumped right into step with us to make this happen, where you can actually, like you do in the Assemble tab in the web browser, launch from ProCore into Assemble and get live access to those views. So that said, you're seeing a screenshot here of Assemble within ProCore and the ability to launch a view and open the Assemble app directly from within your ProCore application. So with that said, there are two ways of doing this. If you're a ProCore user and you're not an Assemble user, you're going to get a view-only access to the model and the properties. And if you have login to both, when you launch it from ProCore, you'll get right into the ability to edit properties and change things and basically take that information and put it right back into maybe an RFI or an observation or that sort of thing, where you can use the model data and snapshots or ultimately images of the model to bring right back into managing your workflow process through ProCore. So all said, I'm excited. This has been a good conference so far, and we're excited to get a lot more feedback from guys using the app. For those on the call, I think Samir is going to go through this in a moment, but for those on the call interested in learning more and digging in further, please let us know on the exit survey, and we will reach out to you promptly.